Hey, what's going on? I'm Ben.
I'm Reese.
And I'm Alex.
And we are the Friendly Neighborhood Fanboys. We had the incredible opportunity to play Scorn. It's an upcoming horror puzzle game, and we just had the absolute best time. Shout out to Kepler Interactive for sending us the early preview. This is going to be a review. If you haven't seen our playthrough, check it out right now. It is live. Without further ado, let's get into it. The atmosphere. The atmosphere of this game is absolutely incredible. Everything down to the fog effects, to the sound design, to the overall art design as well is just an incredible experience all the way around. One thing in particular that stood out to me is the aesthetic. I think they call it like flesh punk or something like that, but it is a very unique, organic, gross, fleshy tone game with a lot of hints of horror, but also just an overall like cool factor. We made a ton of comparisons while we were playing. We were just having an absolute blast playing at the beginning there, and even close to the end there, we're having some laughs. But all in good fun. It did remind us of Krypton from Man of Steel, and Alien was tossed around there a little bit too. And these are all just high praise because these are some of our favorite entities, and just overall made us feel like really creepy and grossed out. Graphically, this game so far is looking incredible. The game comes out in about a month now, and if this is anything like what release is going to be, it is absolutely gorgeous. You guys will be super impressed. We were playing it on PC at basically max settings minus a few, and it just looked absolutely incredible. Like the effects, the textures, the lighting, everything was just baked in and just overall really, really nice, really crisp. The only thing we pointed out while we were messing with the settings is that there was no option to turn off motion blur. Now, this is something that a lot of people turn off almost instantly for a lot of games now, as it kind of distracts you from what you're doing, or it could even be misinterpreted as lag sometimes. We were also capped at 60 FPS. We couldn't really bump it up. I don't know if that was just on us or if that was just locked for the preview to just have kind of the best overall experience. But you know what? If they decide to integrate that down the road, amazing. If not, not a big deal whatsoever.
So I'm here today to talk to you about the scare factors of this game and also the story elements. Now, I think this type of game comes off as, oh, there might be some jump scares, because there has been a huge growth in indie games that have just been all about jump scares and, really getting that audience all creeped out. But I think with this game, it's more of a disturbing tone. So instead of having jump scares around every corner, you're on edge the whole time. You're not exactly sure what's going to happen because there's different parts of the environment that are moving. All of a sudden, you hear some like amazing sound design and you're like, is that something gonna jump out at me? Like, you don't exactly know what's going on. And I think because this game also is new and very original, very unique, nobody has any expectations for this game, which is amazing for us because we had no idea what to expect going into it, but we were pleasantly surprised. Now, if you watch some of our game through, you can see that we were joking around a lot because that's just who we are. But then there were some moments where we were all just silent, our hands over our mouths, and we were just
Scooping them out.
experiencing this game to the fullest because it was really disturbing. That fleshy tones, like that little guy getting like scooped out, all of us really reacted because it was so visceral. And yeah, it wasn't as much of a jump scare as it was you're just on edge, you're disturbed, and you just have no idea what to expect. Now, as for the story, I actually did some background research on YouTube, and I was trying to get a feel for what this game was, and really all that came up was it was based off a certain artist's work, and it was an environment where you're basically dropped into this hellscape of something that looks familiar but isn't quite there. It's like this biomechanical universe, this hellscape that you get dropped into. When you see this playthrough, or when you guys actually get the game and go through it, you'll see that a story does start to form, but I think within this 45 minutes, we were just trying to figure out where we were, trying to grab our bearings and figure out where to go next without dying, because that's really what it was. We had no expectations. We had no groundwork to go off of, so we were just trying to survive. We're trying to figure out where to go next, and we're trying to see how to play Scorn, how to enjoy Scorn to its absolute fullest.
One of the standout features of this game by far is the sound design. Whether you're walking through a dimly lit hallway or you're in the middle of an intense action scene when there's a lot of movement and big fleshy structures are moving around, the game is packed with ambient undertones, creepy echoing spatial sound effects that keep you fully immersed the entire time you're playing. Next up, the puzzle mechanics. After we spent our first 25 minutes looking around for somewhere to go or something to do or a prompt to tell us what to do, we encountered a couple of really interesting puzzles. One of which, if you watch our playthrough video, you'll see us controlling a mechanical arm trying to put these double eggs inside of this holder thing where a claw came in and then dropped it, and pulled the guy out of it. The overall concept of that puzzle was, at first glance, pretty easy and straightforward, and then it just became a very intricate, moving around little tiny eggs and stuff until we wanted to pull our hair out. We came back 3 separate occasions. Took us around 6 hours. We have, I think, clocked in on the game. Am I right, guys? I think it's 6.5 hours. And then we eventually figured it out, so it worked out in the end. Even though this is a quick 45-minute preview, just the few puzzle mechanics that we saw in the preview in that short time frame makes us really excited for what's going to be coming in the actual game and how far the game is actually going to take the puzzle mechanics and the concepts that are going to be introduced. We're really excited to be able to get our hands in this game to see what we're going to be in for in the future. If you haven't had a chance to watch a playthrough, I highly recommend you do. It's right here. If you're enjoying these game playthroughs and review content, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, maybe even drop a comment, and we will be doing more in the future. Thanks so much for checking out the Friendly Neighborhood Fanboys, and we'll see you next time.